Mr. Boston, what's going on?
Not
I like
much.
I like the hat. How about this? I brought the shirt out from the old days here.
Oh, nice.
Friday Night Fight shirt from ESPN. Um,
Yeah, in honor of last night, I decided to go black and blue since that's what my picks did to people.
yeah, that's why everyone loves you though. You're very honest. Who talks about losers? Nobody. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no, you know who doesn't talk about losers? Touts.
Alan, let me ask you. Let me tell you this. Something happened here in town. I was really. This is probably. I haven't woke up in this bad of a mood in a long fucking time. I was really mad. I'm still mad. I'm
Well, if
furious.
you
I'm
swore,
fucking.
yeah, you definitely are mad.
I don't curse too much on shows. I
No,
cursed on every show. I cursed on Veasan. I had to be ended out. I was just so mad. Um, this idiot
cursing on Beeson, that's something I would never dream of.
gets. Yeah, you would never do that. He gets drunk. This idiot gets drunk. He
What
fired
idiot
him.
is this? A random idiot?
Just a yeah, yeah. Let's call this cocksucker out. This
What?
motherfucker. I'm so mad. I'm so fucking furious at this guy.
This is someone you know. This is not some random
No,
idiot.
I don't know.
Oh,
Mitchell Fairborn, 33 years old from Ontario, Canada. Um, I don't know if he's in jail right now, but he should be. That jail's actually nice. That's too nice for him. He decides to get drunk, jump in the flamingo enclosure at the Flamingo, which is beautiful pink flamingos everywhere.
right.
Trample a couple of the flamingos, grab one of them, and take him up to his room. There's pictures of him in every single newspaper now. Now it's going across the country now. Thank you for the girl that put this out there. I always forget her name, but she's a big influencer. Las Vegas locally, Vital Vegas. Everyone talking about this now. Um, yeah, it really Las Vegas Starfish. That's where I seen. Thank you for her to put this out there. Um, this guy took pictures of him in the flamingo, pulled his wing off, starts screaming like they had a. Thank God, I don't know how they saved this flamingo. They saved him though. Yeah, this guy is a real piece of human garbage. I don't want to even call him human
These are the
garbage.
original flamingos that they've had.
Yes, yes, that's even more. Yeah, yeah, the original
What a
flamingos.
fucking scumbag. You're right.
Oh, what a total Canadian tourist. It's everywhere. It's everywhere here. I don't want to pick on Canada. It's not just so happens there. I'm just saying.
Well, they don't vote the smartest people in.
I want people to know where he is. I want him to suffer in life, not getting jobs, not getting I want him to suffer in life. You know, I mean, this is like one of the things. That's him in the elevator with the flamingo in the room on social media. Um, yeah, it's just a terrible thing. They're stolen. Like just terrible what this guy did. Grab this poor flamingo, grabbing him in the hall. I mean, just terrible. What a
Oh, the
terrible
flamingo's not
thing.
alive.
What?
It's a live flamingo?
Of course, of course.
Oh, I thought it was one of the.
No, they have live flamingos out there in their gardens. Oh, everywhere.
Oh,
At
I
the
thought you were
flamingo.
talking about the the flamingos that are freestanding. Like
No, I wouldn't. It would have
he
been more
grabbed a
funny.
real bird.
Oh God, look at the poor thing.
Oh, I don't want
Yeah,
to see it.
yeah. You don't want to see it. Yeah, yeah. No, he grabbed the real bird, took him up to his room. Yeah, it's
Oh, I'd
just
like to beat
terrible.
this guy.
Terrible. What a terrible, terrible human
Yeah, what a
to do. I
total
wouldn't be
scumbag.
mad if it was a plastic
Well, I'd
flamingo.
be mad at that too.
No, this was just a terrible, terrible thing this guy did, and it's being yeah. I
The
mean,
bird's
this is
alive.
not a bad. This ain't a bad photo. It just shows you the beautiful flamingos out there. Like this, you see, you can probably see there's
Yeah,
flamingos
no,
and
I didn't even. I don't remember there being
all
flamingos.
types of birds out there, including flamingos. Yeah, pretty cool. Just anyway, um, I just
Where was
I was
security?
that's what I say. How can it be so easy to get into the flamingo enclosure there, hop the wall, and get in there with the flamingos? He trampled a couple other ones. Amazing, none of them died.
They
Thank
all
God
live.
they have. Thank God they all lived. As far as I know here, anyway. So 9 a.m. he'll be at court Monday. Monday. Well, actually, I don't know. It just says. I'm sorry. It doesn't say 9 a.m. It says the ninth. Monday the ninth.
Unfortunately, animal cruelty laws aren't
That's spot
are
on.
not very severe.
Spot on. Animal cruelty laws in Nevada, not
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 anywhere.
maybe nowhere, anywhere.
Not anywhere. No,
But
they're all. They don't give
He
a shit because
deserves a
they
lot of.
destroy the environment. The government destroys the environment everywhere. They let all their bigwigs destroy the environment, which is basically torturing animals.
He deserves a lot of cruelty to happen to him throughout the remainder of his life, which I hope is short. That's how mad I am at this.
Oh no, you hope maybe he has something really wrong with him and suffers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I started every show out with that. I apologize to anyone that heard my other shows. I just so happens that today I got called for a Fox show, and I had a that was nationwide too. I went off on Fox on they wanted sports questions, and I went off on flamingos, but it's just Vegas stuff. So, all right, let's start right out here, Alan. By you had some people here asking lots of questions. Again, I did put the question thing up, even though I had a couple of them from last week that were already did not get answered. This was asked a couple times, but for anyone that doesn't know, this guy beat ALS, which he did. I know. I've talked to him a couple times, I believe, on question.
So
Q&A.
one quick thing that reminds me of. I remember a comedian told this joke once, and since we're segueing from flamingos, and he wondered, do pink flamingos have wrought iron Italians on their front lawn?
Oh,
I thought it was funny. Anyway, all right, go ahead.
You said I heard wrought iron Italians. Is that what you said?
Do pink flamingos have wrought iron Italians in their front lawn?
Oh, I got you. Sorry.
That was a big thing. Then
I wasn't expecting an Alan Boston joke. The world may not
it's
be
an old
around
joke.
after all. All right.
It's probably not even. It's probably anachronistic. Probably Italians probably don't even have pink flamingos in their front lawn anymore like they used to.
I get it now. I wasn't. I thought it was a serious thing.
Fuck no.
But people asking about this. Of course, it's going to be in less than 2 weeks. March 17th. We agreed on 11 a.m.
Yeah.
What day do you get in, Alan? Do you get in the 16th?
I told you I get in midnight the 16th.
Okay. Well, if you told me, I want to know again. I mean, maybe I forgot.
Well, that's why we moved it to 11 a.m.
That's why 11 a.m. Yeah, so we were going to do it at 10 a.m. All right. So people want to know the games there. So the 17th, Westgate, 11 a.m. is our show. Around 12 noon after, we'll have a nice little meet and greet, little thing set up for you guys. Hang out, answer your questions. And
I wake up in time. We'll have lots of pastries.
Many people
if I can
are
find
asking me if they can see you the next day. I said, I do not know where Alan's staying. Like, you're staying at your buddies, right? They're asking, oh my God, I don't get until the 18th every year, the Wednesday. I'm sorry. Alan will be around, though, for a couple days.
We'll figger something out by then.
Where will you watch the games? Or you're not really Thursday, Friday? No. Okay. Because, of course, John Orlando said to me,
if
tell
people,
Alan we can stay. Yeah, Alan was...
maybe we can do some sort of group breakfast or something, or dinner.
Yeah.
They're not getting until the 18th, so maybe the tournament starts the 19th. Shit.
Yeah.
No, but maybe I can just have a group meeting at Norm's for breakfast or something.
Sure.
Buy everyone breakfast, or I will.
Yeah, we go to Norm's. We go to Norm's a lot.
No, that's what I'm saying for the people who are getting in.
Yeah.
Just to set something up, so if they want to say hello, we can have like a 9 a.m. breakfast at Norm's, which would be before the NCAA tournament starts, and it's just a thought.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, that wouldn't be before because it's I'm on Pacific time. Shit. All right, we'll figure something out by then.
Yeah, and if not,
I'll brainstorm something. Yeah. If people can let you know how long they're getting in the 18th, how long are they staying for? Maybe that'd make it easier.
Okay, let's get into some basketball questions. Alan, great show. 2023, I had FAU to win it all.
Yeah.
500 to win 100,000. Wow. Industry, Dave Meneshaw, 500 to win 100,000. Do you think there are any long shots that year? And any long shots like that this year in the tournament? I know we went over this already, but now at this point, a couple weeks later, any?
No, I don't. It's no, and that's the problem with the sport, is you won't see anything like Florida Atlantic or Butler or the old Gonzaga teams or George Mason or any of the Loyola Chicago, any of these mid majors that made a run, because again, it's too rigged for the better teams. So even someone who's really good this year, like St. Mary's or St. Louis, and they're very, very good. They're 10-point dogs to Michigan and Duke, and they have very good teams. So no, there's no long shots. And I agreed. I thought Florida Atlantic. I kind of butchered that. I had a chance to bet them to get to the Final Four and completely botched that. That was the year I fucked that up completely.
Wow.
Because I knew Purdue was very beatable. And I thought it would be Florida Atlantic, not Philly Dickinson, but that was that year, yeah.
TC on Twitter. TC, I'm sorry. I don't know if Alan can answer all these, but I'll go down them with them, TC. He gave me a lot of things here. Okay. And I do like, by the way, TC, I do like how they have two-way bets on this. Alan will be the first one to tell you, you're not going to find too much value on things that are plus, to win the West. Gonzaga minus 250. Yeah, no, he's not going to bet into that type of market too much. But yes and no. Let's see what Alan said. I'll get to as many of these as I can. Auburn to make the these are lines at BetMGM right now, bettable lines. Auburn to make the 2026 NCAA Tournament field of 68. No is minus 235.
Oh, I think I can't imagine them not making it, but
wow, the yes plus 185 is a good bet then.
I mean, they should make it based on their rating, but I don't know what this committee even dreams of, but I would bet that, yes, because all the like a lot of these teams that were kind of in or out all lost. SMU, Central Florida, a whole bunch of them that were kind of bubblish all lost. So
I got a couple more, but so what he said, TC. Auburn, yes, that's the only line you sent me though, and I'm on the MGM site right now. If you can find plus 2-1, maybe.
No, plus 85 is good.
Yeah, plus 185. So if you could find that, I'm sure other places have that type of bet. Again, it's worded Auburn to make the 2026 NCAA Tournament field of 68. All right, so Alan says yes, just at that price.
Yeah, I like yes, but again, I'm not very good at understanding what the committee does, but instinctively it feels like they're better than almost all the other bubble teams.
Okay, is this one stealing? Is this one stealing? Same thing to make the field of 68. Ohio State, yes, minus 600.
I mean, they're all saying they're in, but they're not very good. But they've had they just beat Purdue and slaughtered Penn State, and they got a home game to end it. So,
but just for you
against Indiana, but they don't have to win,
right? Just for you to say instantly they're not in, then you wouldn't lay 6-1.
I mean, they're not in by my numbers, but again, the committee is out of their minds. Like they don't know what they're doing. Like they're saying, they're talking like Santa Clara, has to win a game. Santa Clara is better than any team you'll mention in the next 10 minutes. And they're not in. They're like on the edge of being in. It's the whole thing. The whole thing is so corrupt and ridiculous.
So maybe the no plus 4.25 might be a little bit of a flyer.
I wouldn't put them in, but
okay.
Indiana is so wonderful.
Indiana no minus 185.
I don't know how they're in. Like they play Ohio State. I guess that's probably the game, the last game of the year. I got Ohio State a small favorite. No, Indiana's completely fallen apart, but maybe their resume was good enough, and it's Indiana.
Looks like we're going to get to the rest of these, TC. Speaking of TCU, yes, minus 7-1.
Yeah, it feels like they're probably in. They've had a bunch of good wins. They're probably in, but again, they'd be a 3-point dog to Santa Clara.
Wow.
And they'd be a 2.5 point dog to Auburn. So, that's why their whole approach is so flawed.
Well, that's funny. The next one, Santa Clara, pick them. Will Santa Clara be in? Pick them.
Yeah, they should be a lock to be in, but that means nothing.
Wow.
And I think Fraudnardi actually had them in. They should be an absolute lock to be in, but they screw every mid-major over every year. So,
all right,
I wouldn't count on it.
TC, that might be a good bet then at pick them minus 110. Santa Clara.
It might be. They should be in, and again, like all these teams have lost. Like a lot of these teams that needed to win didn't win.
And the last
they'll put them in anyway. Like they just do whatever they want.
California is the last one.
No.
California, no, minus 3-1.
That's all. There's no chance they're in.
Wow. All right. Well, as you guys can see by Alan's tone on the 6 of them that he asked about.
How the hell is California in? They could no.
Cal minus.
I don't know how they're in. That would be embarrassing if they got in.
Wow. All right. So there's your answer, TC. Looks like Cal, Alan doesn't lay 3-1 on things too often in life. So, well, thank you for that question.
Again, I'm not a good guy. I say
Okay.
this a lot. I just don't understand their way of thinking. Like California is not a good team, but maybe by their ridiculous approach, they have enough good wins. I don't know.
And the same,
they're terrible. Like they'd be a 7-point dog to Santa Clara on a neutral. That's how ridiculous it is that they're favored in the other team's
wow.
pick.
So that
Well, they're a 3-1 dog in their team's pick. It's Mogi.
Yeah. National championship. So I know the third part of the question here. I'm sorry, the second part of his question. No, he's not going to like anything here at these low odds of for national championship. It looks like Duke, Michigan, both 3.5 to 1. Arizona 5 to 1. Florida 8 to 1. Everything else double digits.
No, those are absurd.
Yeah,
I'd lay prices that they wouldn't win.
And Alan said something just now. So there are sports books that will put up the yes no. I think Circa puts them up the yes. So the no. So you would lay a -4 to 1 on Duke or Michigan on no.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So when those prices come up, that could be something that potentially will have a play there. TC, third part of the question. This is the last one. What did you think of Lou Holtz? Well, even though I don't know what Alan's opinion on that. He's not he was I thought he was a good commentator. Some of the things
Very good commentator
on the football things, right?
Very good.
Okay, so you like
he's a good coach too, I think. I don't know. A little before my time.
Gotcha.
And I've never really been a college football guy. I mean, I started doing it, but I was never a big fan.
All right.
Okay, as a coach, I don't remember.
Mark Ringo, who we've been following each other on Twitter since forget it, a long time. Boston Red. Alan's cooking a steak is like my sports bet. Put them in and hope. Haha. I can't cook. All right. What's with Kansas,
exactly.
Alan? That's what he said. It's like my steak. What's with Kansas? I can't get a read on them. They're Jekyll and Hyde team. One night they play like the world beaters. The next night they get blown out.
They are not overly talented. They have their star who has it in his NIL contract that he can take himself out of the game anytime he wants. I assume that's not good for camaraderie. And I don't have a very high opinion of Bill Self as a coach. So they are they're down from their usual teams.
Now, years ago, did you used to like Self years ago?
No.
No? Okay.
No. I like him as a person. He's a straight shooter. I like him. He seems to genuinely care, unlike some of these scumbags, but I just don't think he's very good. I watch him get out-coached all the time in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, just to let you guys know, because I know someone will say something. Alan and I are boxing Friday Night Fight fans. We were with Teddy Atlas at many of the events, and just with Teddy at a lot of the events. And the last Friday Night Fights, which was on ESPN for 20 years, Alan and I drove to California to watch that Friday Night Fights, which was just a memorable experience. Sitting, a foot away from Teddy, watching him interact with the fans, especially at the end when they were trying to get him away to go to the truck at the end of the night. Teddy just wouldn't. He wanted to, meet. And there were some guys that, we were in not the best area. We were in a tough area. And if there was some guys out of line, maybe trying to get to Teddy before he was done talking to somebody else, Teddy would put them in their place a little bit.
What Teddy did that night was
that night.
A kid from Chicago comes running up to him, and they're telling him, Teddy, you got to catch a flight.
Right.
And this kid, he says, Teddy, I'm an up-and-coming boxer. I flew in from Chicago to say hello to you. And Teddy wasn't leaving that kid.
Yep. Didn't matter.
He told him, fuck off. I'm talking to this kid. And who does that? It's just, Teddy's the best.
The greatest. All right.
The best boxing commentator ever by a mile. And the only guy one of the few people, his charity, he's the only guy that goes broke running a charity.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
He makes sure the money actually gets used properly instead of some CEO making $1 million at March of Dimes or whatever the hell they make.
Yeah,
You know, all these charities are all horseshit, but not Teddy. Teddy's the best.
atlasfoundation.com. atlasfoundation.com. I went to the dinner 20 years in a row. He has a golf tournament in September, lots of charity thing, gives all the money away to the proper people. He doesn't take a dollar. It goes into his own pocket. He has a charity dinner, and his family sits at a table and he buys the table. He doesn't even get a free table. So that just shows you who Teddy is. Puts a lot of time, effort, and money into it. And that just shows you who he is as a person. All right.
Some of the stories you read about it where the money actually goes. And he tries to take care of Staten Island people. Like that's his right.
Sure.
Which is how it should be. It's a local charity and they should come first. I'm ready for Staten Island to secede from Manhattan. What the hell's going on here?
What happened?
I keep blacking out.
Oh, I see. No, you didn't black out on our end.
Oh, I did on my end. All right.
Dr. Patridge. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. If the process always stays the same, what other factors would create a winning streak or a losing streak? Not sure.
Randomness.
Okay.
Random, and that's part one. Is just if you flip a coin, it's going to come up heads 10 times in a row, and if you flip a coin that's weighted, towards so it comes up heads 60% of the time, you're still going to have 10 losses in a row at some X number of times. So yeah, you can run bad or you can run good forever, and so variance is the word they would use to create winning and losing streaks. And part B to that, and I think maybe I'm more likely to go on a negative streak or a winning streak than a computer guy, is because I'm human. And I talked about when doubt sets in sometimes, my work can get real sloppy. And I have to remind myself, you've been doing this for 100 years and you're pretty good, and stop doubting yourself. But I'm human, so it just naturally happens. So that could create that losing dynamic too. We're on the other end of it when I'm hyper confident, like I just know I got it right and I'll win every game.
Right. I just wanted
to lower
the slate. Okay, sorry. I just
my
wanted to lower the
monitors
light.
keep blacking out.
I see you good. Yeah.
Still?
The viewers see you. Yeah.
I have a black screen. I can't see. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's get to the next guy here. Bro Logan Experience.
What the hell's going on here?
He's been around a long time. But as long as we can see you, I think it's okay.
Thanks. But I'm not.
Well, you can't just see me then, all right?
I can't see the screen. I have a blank screen.
Okay.
It's just weird. I mean, it's not good for me. I got to do my work.
Yeah. All right, I'll text JH to see if there's anything on his end. Maybe it's because you're on the StreamYard. I'll text him. But Bro Logan Experience, has Alan ever gotten info on stiff or improper rims come conference tournament time and made a play on it versus actually handicapping, especially with neutral site games for over under, or does that not really happen anymore?
I never heard of it.
Oh, okay. Well,
I assume there's certain gyms where the sight lines are better and and maybe the rims are tighter, and that would be certainly valuable to know. We just bet under every single game there, but I've never heard that, so that's new to me. But I've never bet totals, so I've never dug into it.
Yeah, he said that. He said totals. That's what they're for over under purposes, or does that not really happen? All right. Yep, everything looks good.
I can't see anything.
Our producer just texted me. Everything looks fine on his end. So.
Yeah, no, it's my computer.
Big Hater.
Wow, I like
that name. Big Hater wants to know, I'd be curious what percentage Boston is hitting in his college picks that he shares to his buddies and friends so far this year. And I don't really know if Alan doesn't really keep his percentage. I don't think he'll know that.
No, Alan doesn't keep his percentage. I'm guessing 56%. If I had to guess. 55 to 56%. Not great this year.
I think 56% is unbelievable. So, but
55 to 56. That's my guess. No, that's down for me. When I'm good, it's 60-ish.
Okay, let's get. All right, now we'll go off the poker. Or we'll go off the. We'll go on to a little bit of poker here. People love that poker. And World Series is right around the block here, so I guess
Yeah, the
people
World
just.
Series is disaster this year.
Oh yeah, Alan said that the seniors, which it's a money. This is really because it's a money grab. We know the World Series is rakes up to 20% out of the tournaments, and
I find
most
that
are
hard to believe. I don't think it's that
around
high.
15. Well, I have the chart on the $500 tournament anyway. That's the lower tournaments. The average takeout is 14.5% though out of all their
Jesus Christ,
tournaments.
they've gone way up.
Yeah, way up since Benny Binion owned it when it was much
Zero.
lower. Zero. Zero.
Zero.
Zero. Zero. Zero.
Tip what you want.
Richard Poplis, he's over there, Connecticut. Richard asks, "What is Alan's favorite poker game to play, and has he ever played in the main event?"
7-card stud by a mile. And yes, in the main event, and finished 33rd one year, I think.
Wow. And now, this particular year, do you think there's value in the $1,000 tournament that has every 10 players get a seat in the main event? What would that be called, Alan, that kind of tournament?
Satellite.
Okay, a satellite. So a satellite where 1 in 10 gets a seat. Do you think that's good value?
If you're a good player, yes. If you're not, no. That's that's the only way to answer it. The satellites tend to be very soft, so they tend to be good if you're a decent player. I told my friend once, if I ever took poker seriously, that's all I would do was play the $500 and $1,000 satellites and know them and hold them, because the fields are very, very soft, and it's very easy to cash, especially with where they're having multiple giveaways. At some point in the tournament, you almost have enough. When you have enough chips to cash, you can just leave the table. There's definitely strategies about manipulating your way into getting in. Knowing how many chips you need to survive. When they have 500 people and they're giving away 50 entries, with 70 to go, if you have X number of chips, you're going to make it. And if you know that, it helps. But usually it's just because the fields are so weak that it's there's value. So I'd say yes if you have any kind of any talent at all for the game. That being said, they rake the shit out of those. So
yeah, the rakes are just getting to be out of control. But like I said on my podcast with John Orlando, John was like, "Well, Bill, you have to realize they're bringing people from all over the world." And that was a tweet that we put up, and people came in and said, "Do you realize how much money it costs to run a poker tournament?" And this person
give me a
said,
break.
"Yeah, this person was saying like it's like a break even. It's not break even.
Break even. They make
this is a business.
The biggest money maker they have.
This is the giant business. Or else this company wouldn't have came in and bought it from Caesars and gave them all this money. So it's a giant money maker. There's no break even.
It doesn't cost that much to run a poker tournament. You got to pay some foremen. The dealers don't get paid shit. The electricity's going anyway. That cost is going.
Right.
The cost of the tables and the cards and the shuffling machines, they've already paid for that. So where is their expense? Yeah, they have this ridiculous system where to cash, and you have to hire all those cashiers and everything. But again, they don't pay them anything.
Right.
Yeah, it's they make plenty. They have tens of thousands of entries they're raking.
This is
They run multiple tournaments nonstop,
and it just I was back
it's
there.
A fucking greed fest.
They make
and this year, believe it or not, in the heads up tournament, which is which is an elite tournament, they're having multiple entries into that. So you get knocked out, you can play you can play again. Absolutely mind blowing.
Yeah.
They eliminated the super senior tournament. They eliminated the high roller senior tournament. But don't worry, the high roller events didn't get taken out, and they're making almost everything multiple entries with multiple rebuys. Multiple day ones and multiple day ones and multiple rebuys.
Just think about what
everything
Alan's
they
saying
do,
here. Think about what he's saying.
everything they
They
do helps the professional or the rich.
They don't have to get extra bodies in there. The bodies that are playing get busted out and just jump back in, and they take a commit, a rake off that. This isn't money that goes back in the prize pool, 100% of it. They're doing it at the same. I should more ask a question here, or maybe it's a
It's just
hypothesis.
unfair to the novice or the guy who has one buy-in.
So the buy-in, Alan, though, they do take their percentage for the house still, of course, right?
Yeah,
That's not doesn't go back in the pool. They take their percentage for the house. But I heard Daniel Negreanu say once that it benefits someone like him to have multiple buy-ins.
a study shows that the multiple rebuys have a 3 to 5% extra edge over the guys who buy in once. Because you're free rolling. You just, you're laying a bigger price because you're buying in more times, but again, it's variance. You happen to run good on one of your buy-ins, you run up a big stack and you're locked to cash. And then you don't buy in anymore.
Right.
It's like at the carnival, pitch till you win.
Yep.
I find it disgusting. At least the main event isn't rebuys. That would be the end of poker.
This guy's name's December 10. December 10, whatever that means. Good day. This is a throwback there. Alan Boston humbly referred to his high IQ. Quote, "It doesn't mean I'm smart. It's just I have the ability to be." And 10 years ago. Did you say that somewhere?
I don't remember, but it's accurate.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. It's just
wow, that's
more than it's not a question. It's more of a statement. He said, "You said that about 10 years ago."
Interesting.
I like it.
No, that's interesting. That's accurate too.
Yeah, that's it is very interesting that
there's different kinds of intelligence. Everyone's brilliant in their own way, right?
I like that though. I have the ability to be. That's exactly, yeah. That's something you would have said.
That's just IQ. It just doesn't mean, I could be a complete idiot in life, which I'm probably pretty good at that. But you could be, someone with a low IQ, but be a genius. You could be a great painter or great musician, or you can be great at something. You can be great at conversation. There's so many ways of being great. You can be a great athlete. Yeah, there's genius in everything. Almost every person has genius in some way.
I think we have BALS. I wanted to ask this before. I think I skipped it though. A couple of questions. Does Alan watch all or most of the game he bets? I'm going to say no. Are you going to answer though?
No, I struggle to watch games I bet because I don't watch them objectively and I get aggravated. So it's actually a struggle for me to watch games I bet on.
And how come
I barely watch games I don't bet on? I'm trying to now with the conference tournaments going, trying to watch a little bit of some of them. But, I'm not a scout and I'm not a talent evaluator. And, although it probably would help, my time is better suited to reading, which is which I can immerse in my internal database better. Watching a game will help in one way, but reading about it will help me more usually. So, and I'm constantly working because there's so many freaking games. But during the NCAA tournament, I'll watch games because then I don't have any work to do.
Okay. Second question: how come Alan never ventured into betting totals? And is it harder? Is it a harder handicap?
I started off my whole college basketball started because I went to the games at the Palestra. And I knew the point spreads, and I think instinctively, I talked about this earlier. I think that's why instinctively I had a lot of good habits. Because there's no handbook on how to do this. I just went out to Vegas and winged it, and happened to get it right. Actually, I got it wrong, but I got it right. But yeah, so I was just a college basketball fan who had good feel for what he was doing, and never took an interest in betting totals. Because I was actually a fan first and a bettor second. Like the betting came after. I love going to college basketball games. So when you go to a college basketball game as a fan, I wasn't thinking about how to bet a total or anything. I actually wasn't thinking about how to bet the game either, but that kind of like that's the instinct for it came not from thinking about totals, but from watching games. So I've never got into totals, and I'm sure it's a lot more mathematical than something I can handle.
Okay, another basketball question. This is a big fan of all my shows. Good guy, Ryan Hyatt, does his own podcast also. Ryan Hyatt Media. Alan, are the public injury reports released by college teams worth a damn?
Most of the time, yes. I think they have to try to be honest now. And I know the Atlantic 10 one does a good job, but I usually don't go on the sites. I try to read the papers and watch press conferences to actually get the real to really understand whether not to try to figure out whether someone's going to play or not.
Okay.
Which it was never I never cared. Only this year, where I'm trying to supply a line to somebody, I have to know the injuries, and that's actually been one of my battles this year. Is it takes way too much time to try to figure out whether someone's playing or not. And to be honest, this late in the year, I don't think injuries mean that much, and we've discussed that a couple times.
Yep. But
yes, I think they're mostly good from my limited experience in dealing with them.
Okay. His second question, he has two. For me, the answer is none. Best restaurant you've ever been asked to leave from through no fault of your own. Ryan, I've never been asked to leave from a restaurant. Mr. Boston? You ever been asked to leave?
We were asked to leave a restaurant once. I think it was an Applebee's in Maine.
Oh, wow.
I might have been too loud and might have swore too much.
Oh.
I also might have had too much liquor in me. But these are just mites. I don't quite remember. I think it was an Applebee's. It was one of those shitholes. The kids wanted to go there, so we went.
Okay. Can't wait for the show. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
All right, let's get to the next one. Interesting one here. I thanked you already. BDLS, thank you very much. This is interesting because I have a comment more than a question. Meow self. I have a comment. Jimmy Jihad is his name. He's been around a long time. Comment. Didn't think I could like Alan more. Then he said his favorite artist of all time was Tom Waits. Question. Do you ever listen to Modest Mouse? They make interesting music with similar lyrics, themes. Most Tom Waits fans like them, and vice versa. Lead singer is a genius. I've never
heard of him, but I will be checking him out. The other Tom Waits, similar Tom Waits is Chucky Weiss. In case you've never heard of him, Tom Waits actually mentions him in the song. But Chucky Weiss is brilliant, and him and Tom Waits did a song together called "Do You Know If I Edie I Mean." It's absolutely hysterical.
Wow.
I will check out, what's it called?
Modest Mouse. MOUS.
Modest Mouse.
Modest Mouse. How about that? Didn't think I could like Alan anymore. Then he said his favorite artist of all time was Tom Waits. Pretty cool.
Well, how can it not be? Gotta be Tom Waits.
All right.
I think Tom Waits is I think Tom Waits is a favorite of many more than people would guess.
I like Tom Waits. Yes.
He did a poll on Entertainment Week where they polled a bunch of celebrities. This was around 1990. And they asked their favorite artist, favorite book, favorite movie, etc. And Tom Waits was the most answered of favorite artist. So.
Oh, cool! Wow.
It surprised me.
Yeah.
I was happy to read that, actually.
This is interesting, Alan. From back.
And I did see Tom Waits once in Oakland, California.
Oh, cool. This is interesting, Alan. From 2003. Let me start it over. Dal Jr. DAL Jr. 5000. A few for Boston Red. 1. Did he ever use steroids or testosterone replacement therapy?
I'm on testosterone replacement therapy, so yes to that.
Right.
No to all the rest of them. Just TRT.
I saw Alan at the 2003 WSOP, and he was jacked diesel. So back then.
Yeah, I was probably bigger back then than now. But I look better now. But I took nothing back then.
Excuse me.
The TRT started, I think, 3 years ago, at the advice of a friend, and it's been very. If you're over 50 and don't take testosterone, you're cheating yourself. And don't listen to your doctor who says your levels are too high, because that's all horseshit.
That's what your doctor.
Your levels are supposed to be higher.
Told you, right? Yeah. Also, all right, question. We have 4 questions from the same person. In the 80s, 90s, did any Vegas sportsbook ever limit you or cut you off completely? That's the 80s and 90s, actually. No. Wow. What a better time to be alive.
Well, because the bookmakers wanted me to bet with them. They wanted to know what I was betting so they can move their line appropriately.
Right.
Because they knew what they were doing.
Any Vegas run-ins with any mob figures? I mean, were you here for that? Were you? Maybe
I don't know if I told the past Eddie story. Eddie DeLeo. Eddie DeLeo is one of the characters that hung out at the Stardust. Legend. Past Eddie. Okay. He was betting with the bookmaker I was dealing with in Boston. Cowboy, that was their name. Him and his douchebag buddy there, Dominic Spinelli. But he told me, when you come out to Vegas, I'll take care of you. And sure enough, he sent me to Hugo's, the original Hugo's, on Karen Avenue. Not Hugo's. What's that shit?
Andres?
No. The Italian place everyone loves with the scumbag maitre d' Joe. It's on Casino Center Boulevard now.
Casino Center.
Everyone goes there.
Piero's,
yeah. He sent me the original Piero's, which was on Karen Avenue. And it wasn't busy, but I got they sent me this big booth in back with this telephone, and you could just picture some mob guy who was, had this big giant booth with the telephone, and he kind of ruled the roost. So I felt like Marlon Brando for a night. But later on, when I moved out there, this was before I moved there, I was just visiting. It was 85, I think, 86. When I moved there, Eddie would hang out at the Stardust, when I was watching the sports ticker or the races or whatever. And, he would get drunk and obnoxious. But he was just legendary. So he had to go to jail and do some time. And I was walking out of the Stardust, and here comes Eddie walking back in. I said, "Hey, Eddie, you're out. Nice." And the first thing he said is, he said, "I owe you $500. I'm going to pay you that $500. He said, "I fuck everybody, but I don't fuck my friends." And that's the only mob person I knew in Vegas. But
Eddie DeLeo, right?
Eddie DeLeo, he passed away many, many moons ago. His girlfriend was a sweetheart too. Really interesting guy, but not one to fuck with for sure. He didn't look like much, but I was told not to fuck with him. But he had my back. Like it was different back then. Like if someone was going to rob me, they wouldn't, because they probably got word that Eddie had my back. So that's how it was back then.
Yep.
And I'm not. That's just everyone had each other's back. If you were a regular, if you were any kind of decent human, you were okay.
Question 4. Favorite team as a child? Well, when you were younger, in your youth, did you have a team? Any sport, don't matter.
Well, I mean, the Red Sox when I was a kid, because I loved baseball, and the '67 Red Sox, I listened to every game on the radio with, and they made the World Series here as like $1 billion to one shot. And Ned Parnell and I forget the announcers, Ken Coleman and the old pitcher for the Red Sox. And then I was always an underdog rooter, so I like the Pittsburgh Penguins. They were the worst hockey team, but I rooted for them because they were the worst. Always rooted for the underdog. So, and then that's it. I love the Jim Plunkett Patriots and the Steve Grogan Patriots, but again, they weren't very good. So that's just I've always been against the grain and rooted for those that most don't. So.
That Red Sox team have Elston Howard and George Scott.
Yeah, Joe Pepitone, Carl Yastrzemski, of course. I think he won the Triple Crown that year.
Wow.
And they made that Impossible Dream album, which was a big seller in the Boston area.
I was happy to hear that.
I had to listen to the song from Man on Mantra, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
To dream, the impossible dream.
Right. Brock Landers.
Computer, tell me.
Brock says, I finally watched California Split and loved it.
Nice.
Cannot believe I didn't see it. Turns out Elliot Gould was barely acting. He was he was barely he is or was deeply into gambling. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah, but
Elliot Gould.
so I mentioned this. He actually, in real life, was the George Segal character. And the guy who wrote the movie, Joseph Walsh, was the Elliot Gould character. So Elliot Gould was actually playing this manic degenerate when in fact he was the more, like being around gambling type person. Like George Segal wasn't familiar with it, but he liked being around it. It was George Segal's escape from his miserable job, and he was separated from his wife, so shit marriage. So Elliot Gould was actually playing, something he's familiar with, but not what he was in real life. He would have been George Segal in real life.
Oh wow!
I read all this because I hosted the California Split Night, so I read everything about it. I'm glad you liked it. It's a very nuanced movie. There's a lot of moments that when you watch again, you'll appreciate even more. Some of the camera shots where they, it seems like they increasingly hang on George Segal as he's kind of like getting into this whole crazy lifestyle. And if you didn't appreciate the ending, just if you didn't get that ending, just ask me when if you come to Vegas, I'll explain it. All right. Even though it's kind of obvious, I'm not. A lot of people I don't think really got it.
His second part is, I was wondering how owning Mahoney compares. I submit Philip Seymour Hoffman portrayed the ultimate degenerate, also based on a true story. Did you see that? Alan?
No, I think that's Coen Brothers, right?
Oh, I don't know, but someone else at lunch today mentioned owning Mahoney, and
I've never seen it, so I'll jot that down.
Philip Seymour Hoffman played a degenerate gambler. True story. All right, Tama 888. Does Alan have any Jerry the Hat Taffel stories of the Stardust line making team?
I didn't know him. He was one of the line makers they used, but I did not know him at all.
Now, Alan, explain that. What does that mean? The line makers they use?
Scotty Scheller opened first. So the best way to open first is get a bunch of guys together, get lines from all of them. So we got a line from Roxy Roxborough, who was the line maker, Jerry the Hat, and he had another guy who made a line for him. I forget. And maybe he took Bobby Diallo's line, and then he looked at all the lines and he threw up a line based on what they said. So if they all had, if one had 4 and one had 6 and one had 8, he might open at 6, or maybe he respected one guy more than the other, and they'd open it 7 because the 8 guy was better than the guy who made it 4. I don't know how he did it, but he did a good job. But I don't know Jerry the Hat at all.
Okay.
And I have renewed respect for those that try to put a lineup. It's very, very difficult. You really have to know what you're doing to put a lineup first and put it up cold, because you're going to have mistakes and you're going to get bet those mistakes.
So then, Alan, are you saying you'd have a hard time putting lines up?
I am having a hard time putting a lineup. That's basically what I'm doing. Basically.
Okay. Right. Yeah. You're putting a line before the. Okay. I meant for a sports book. Would you have a hard time doing that?
No. Yeah. Well, yeah, I would, because you're always at a disadvantage. They only bet when you make a mistake. They don't have to bet every game. Yeah. If I was cross booking somebody, and they, and we go down the schedule into 60 games, and they put the lineup on the first one, I put the lineup on the second one, you had a bet. Right. I think I'd crush most.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But as far as just putting a lineup cold, I'm going to have mistakes. And the part B to that. So for instance, Richmond and Dayton the other day, I thought the game should have been 3, and the game was 5.5 at the time. So if I'm betting, I'm taking 5.5, right? But if I'm booking, I'm probably opening it, 4.5 minus 15 or something like that. And the game falls 5. So even though I'm right, I'm wrong.
Right.
Richmond did get bet. So, but that's just an example of how you could actually be right and wrong simultaneously when you're putting the lineup.
Okay. Ryan, Giant Homer. back to basketball. He just asked this 1 minute ago. Hey, Alan, which mid-major teams are you high and low on going into the conference tournaments? Any teams you could think of that you're high on or low on? Mid-major.
I mean, I mentioned St. Louis and Utah State. Those are two outside of St. Mary's, who's obvious, and I'm sure is in the tournament. I don't think about it in that way. Like someone who's sneaky, who might, So all right. So the Southern Conference, I think Furman probably is going to win that tournament. I don't think they're the favorite. So there's something that I can drum up. What are the conference tournaments? Are the Coastal? Yeah. So the Southern Conference, Furman's kind of sneaky. The Coastal's Wilmington. They're probably the best team, and they'll probably win. The Summit is South Dakota. North Dakota State has had an unbelievable year. I don't know who's sneaky there. Missouri Valley. Is there anyone sneaky there? Yeah, Belmont. Belmont has had an unbelievable year. In fact, Belmont's the highest rated mid-major I have. I didn't even think of that. They'd be favored over all those teams, over Utah State and not over Utah State. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't be. What am I saying? But they're higher rated than most of the mid majors. But they're playing so above what they normally play to that I think Belmont will not win the Missouri Valley, even though they're the favorite. So I guess maybe even though I'm not low on them, maybe I'm lower on them than others. Kind of a tricky question because then I don't know who others are high on, so I don't know who I'm high on myself. If I don't know what, at this point the ratings are kind of like etched in stone. Like I had almost nothing to bet today because the lines everyone's going to be close. But I think Furman's a sneaky one to win the Southern Conference. That's what I got off the top of my head.
Okay. Alan, things like the Southern Conference, the no's, going back to the first guy that asked the questions, these no's, I won't even use the Southern Conference. You can use Southern. Let's use Western Carolina. The no's will probably be the value. Like, will Western Carolina win the Southern Conference? Minus 13-1 on the no. They're mostly putting up a line that people are going to bet the plus 825 on the yes. So just like, will a player score a touchdown or not score a touchdown, where the no is normally the value, is it the same thing for these big long shots like Western Carolina, like Winthrop, minus 600 to win the Big South, the no. Lindenwood, the no, minus 18-1. Is the no's the value?
It's all math. You kind of figure out what their lines would be to get through the series of games they have to win approximately, and do the math. And if it comes out 22-1, then you can lay 18-1. If it comes out like Western Carolina minus 13-1 seems very, very low. I would lay that just because it has to be right. They have to win. I think they got a first round bye, so I think they have to win 3 games, I guess. And there'll be a dog in all of them. And there'll be a significant dog in several. I love the coach of Western Carolina, Tim Kraft. He's fantastic. And they got better at the end of the year, but they can't win that tournament. Right. So, yeah, instinctively 13-1 seems low on that. Lindenwood, I wouldn't lay 20-1 on them, but they have to win 4 in 4 days, I think.
Right.
They won yesterday.
William and Mary, you got to lay 20-1 on the no.
I wouldn't do that. No. I bet yes. I bet yes there.
If you lose one of these, the
yeah, but the point is, if you bet all the right, no, I mean, you can only lose one no, right? You can lose unlimited yeses. You can only lose one no. So if you make 7 no bets in one conference, you're going to win 6 of them right off the bat.
Like what Alan's saying is like if you
Alan's saying is obvious, but most people don't think like that.
Charleston, Monmouth, betting no on all of them, you're only going to lose one of them.
Right, there's only one winner, so you can only lose one. Yeah. But William and Mary, if you laying 20-1, what's the plus on that?
11-1.
Oh, that's all fuck.
Yeah.
Boy, they're robbing you.
Yeah.
11-1, 20-1.
Yes. Yep.
I think I would take 11-1 with them. Although I think they got to play the first round. Yeah, they play Elon, and then they got to play. Who do they play
Let's
next?
see what they're.
Yeah, they got to win too
Circa.
many games. Yeah, 11-1's not enough.
Yeah, okay. I would say Circa has -21, come back 1150 as the second one. Plus,
Yeah, but they got to win a lot of games. They got to beat Elon, then they got to beat Hofstra,
right.
and then they have to beat probably College of Charleston and NC Wilmington. Yeah, they're not a big dog in any of those games though.
What's the Hofstra? What would be Hofstra? What would be
They'd
that
be a
line?
0.5 point dog or 1 point dog to Hofstra, or 1 point dog
Wow.
to probably pick with Charleston, and maybe a 1 point dog to Wilmington. So what's that? That's and they're 2-1 favorite the first game. So that's 2 out of 3. Let's call all those pick, and we'll add a little on at the end. So it's 1 out of 2 3 times. That's 7-1, and then 2 out of 3 is 2 out of 21. So that's 10.5 to 1, and you got to add a little more because they're probably a dog, right? So you're probably getting exactly the right price. So no bargain.
Okay. But
If they had a fair split, like like plus 14 to 1 minus 18 to 1.
but you wouldn't lay the 20 to 1. 21
Absolutely not. I think that probably the plus is about right.
The plus is around the right number.
And
that's the same thing.
that coach is a freaky good. So it wouldn't surprise me if they won. But they got to win 4 in 4 days. And yeah, you're not even getting enough right because they're playing the rest of the team, so you have to inflate the price a little more because the rest of the team is worth 1.5 or so. Yeah, so you're not getting enough. No. But the West Carolina laying 13 to 1, that would be good.
Okay. We'll finish with a slot question here. We're almost at an hour here. So, well, we answered this question a couple weeks ago, but I want to answer it again. T-Bone wants to know what your favorite slot machine is currently. Like I said, we did ask this recently, but you said you liked one that you're a little bit enamored with right now, right? Last week you said something. 2 weeks ago. What do you like? What's an enjoyable slot game?
I think Triple Moneyball is brilliantly designed and
Nice.
you can win humongous amounts on that, which is what I like. Like even if you're playing cheap, like I played a $2 Triple Moneyball, I got back 900 on a bonus.
Wow, on
Yeah.
$2 a spin.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I got 460x or something. I got like 920. Crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I like it when you obviously can get buried if you can hit for huge amounts. You can obviously get buried, but there's 3 different ways of hitting bonuses, and they have auto bonuses, and it's I like the way the game is.
Alan,
Don't get me wrong, it's very, very swingish because you can just get, obviously if you can win a lot, you can get bludgeoned too. But I like the design of that. I like playing that because you always have the chance to score out. And the other game I'm kind of enamored with is Bougie Band. And the whole sweat on that is will you shut up? Jesus. The whole sweat on Bougie Band is when you hit the bonus, you get the spins, but then you get the extra coins, and then the next one that'll explode is the multiplier. If you get the multiplier, you're probably going to win. If you get past that, it's jackpots, and if you get past that, it's a double wheel, double screen. So the whole sweat is when you hit the bonus.
have you had nights driving home saying, "Oh, I can't believe I lost this much money tonight in this stupid machine"?
Yes.
That was a
More than
quick
once.
yes. That was a very, very quick yes.
More than once, but I like I've talked about, I'm completely, like if I'm miserable, I'll run out and play. I live 8 minutes away from Foxwoods. I can run out and play a slot machine, and life is okay while I'm there. It's very,
Right.
very strange. It has a very
Yeah.
calming effect on this nut job. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Although
yeah.
in Vegas, I feel like I'm getting cheated out there because they rake so much. So I won't play out there. Or
Yeah.
maybe I will at the Palms. The Palms doesn't rake that much.
Well, Alan,
And they treat you nice.
I feel like you're the what's that movie? Pulp Fiction, when you have you got someone there, like you're tied up a guy in the basement, the gimp. So looks like he might be unraveling his way out of the handcuffs. So we'll end the show now at an hour, and we'll talk to you next week. All right.
All right, very good. I can't see you, but bye everybody.
All right.
And we'll come up with something for some sort of meet after the meet and greet. If people can, I don't know how they can convey to you how long they're going to be there, but they said we're not going to be there till the 18th, so I assume they can tell you how long they'll be there.
A couple of them, yeah.
So
but
we'll
we're going
figure
to
that
ask
out
people
for
on
them.
the 17th. All right.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right. See you guys.